kind of book. Welcome to another episode of the Supper Club. The Supper Club brought to you by Kuna Food Service, a family-owned tradition since 1918. The Pasta House Company Restaurants. Lordo's Diamonds, your family jeweler for life. Oliva on the Hill. Barquette Realty, nationwide real estate investor. And Fresta Limoncello. Keep sipping, my friends. Welcome to another edition of the Supper Club. I'm Joe Fresta. I'll be your host, and we're alongside two restaurant legends, two good friends of mine, too. Jamie Komorek and Steve Komorek. Welcome to the show.
Joe, glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
You got it. Good to have you guys on. You know what? Over the years, you guys have been going with Trattoria Marcella, and over the years, just so many different awards and accolades. Too many to mention. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But I want to go back. You named the restaurant after your mother.
Correct.
Marcella.
Right.
Marcella Slay Komorek.
You got it.
Who is a Slay, huge restaurant history there, I think going back to 1911.
Yeah,
correct. The Slays have been in the restaurant business,
right,
which is just unbelievable. But almost as old as this place, Solace, right? We were talking. But give me a little background on that. When you guys were growing up on that side of the family, did you guys mess around in the restaurants when you were little?
No,
or go to work? Or,
you
know what I mean.
Well, there was messing around too, but by the age of 12, 13, 14 years old, all of us nieces and nephews and grandchildren were in the business.
Right, doing something.
Yeah, and it was different stages because I'm the second youngest. Manita is the youngest of the Slay grandchildren. And so in some fashion, we were all working in the business.
Yeah, and how many stores did they have at the time? They
know what? It varied from time to time, but I can
remember.
They
had Hampton, they had Slays of Grantwood and on Gravois, which is now
they had Slays
Sam's
Caruso's,
Steakhouse.
which became the original O.B. Clark's. That was my aunt's restaurant.
Really?
Oh, there was one before that. Slays Caruso's was actually at Manchester and Brentwood, where Schnucks is. The original Slays Caruso's was. And then they moved down into that center where O.B. Clark's opened. My aunt sold her business to O.B. Clark's.
Their pizza was in
Brentwood Square?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I remember the original O.B. Clark's, and that was a Slays restaurant.
That was my aunt's restaurant.
Wow.
Right.
'Cause I used to go in there and play after men's league hockey. I'd go in there years ago and hang out. And I know they still do now up the street.
Yeah,
they're located even closer to Brentwood Ice Rink where they had those men's leagues. But, wow, little Slays restaurant.
I had an uncle who had a couple 3 fried chicken places.
3 or 4.
Really?
Slays Family Kitchens.
Right.
And then, David had restaurants. And
sure.
It's been in our family for a lot of years. And Uncle Francis left the family business a little bit and went down to St. Raymond's and ran the banquet center down there. And Brother Leo Slay, all of us have been food and service, but Brother Leo Slay probably, out of all of us, in his own regards, got accolades, but he traveled the Brother Leo Slay from Chaminade.
Yeah, Marianist
Glory,
brother.
Marianist brother.
Yep.
Vianney. Ran the cafeterias, did CBC's kitchen, a couple other high schools, but he did armed services, Marines, Air Force, Navy, the Army, out in fields and submarines.
Traveled the world.
And traveled as a general with them, teaching them how to make their food service better.
Isn't that something? I mean, he's been all over the place. And I read that about him. He did a lot of military type stuff. Whatever, it's the food service business. It's a hospitality business.
Absolutely, serving thousands of soldiers and submariners and everything else. It's
definitely in your blood.
Born and raised in it.
You'd mentioned David Slay, who's just had a remarkable career. Now out in Los Angeles.
Probably the best he's doing is at this point here.
He's got 7 joints now, doesn't he?
I think he has 4 or 5 in Manhattan Beach
and
a winery, which is
the winery's beautiful. I've been there. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
And some pretty serious wine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it's out in it's in California.
It's in the right area.
Yep,
it's
Santa Barbara. Right area. Yeah, no question. So he's done very well. Lisa Slay. A tremendous chef in her own right.
She ran a lot of restaurants for Tim Mallett over the years.
That's right. Yeah.
Partnered with him and very successful.
And worked in this very building for a while for
that's
Mark
right.
Urker.
Exactly.
Yeah, was his executive chef.
Right.
On campus and off with the catering operation.
Well, Lisa really Lisa really took me under her wing along with David, and that really gave me my culinary start.
Yeah.
So I was 18 years old or so, had been working in the business and decided that I wanted to own my own restaurant. And I think my mom and dad were kind of looking at me like, okay, you got to do something. You're not going to school.
Yeah.
So I went, entered into David's operation. And
La Veranda on
La
Hampton?
Veranda on Hampton.
Wow, that goes back.
Lisa picked me up and carried me along the way. And
How old were you?
David had me. 18 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And you said you guys started when you were 13 in
Yeah,
the
I think I
Slays.
worked for David for 7 years.
My first job was at Bartolino's on Hampton when I was 12.
No kidding.
Yeah.
But you had a restaurant right up the street.
My uncle wouldn't hire me. I was too young.
Well, hold on.
Child labor laws.
It also included the Flamingo Cafe.
Oh, well, I can go on and on about all the times.
Did you work at the Flamingo?
I worked for the Pasta House. Never for a Pasta House restaurant, but for the Pasta House company. I worked at the Flamingo Cafe for years.
Right.
And I worked at Mike Shannon's for 8 years, probably 7, 8 years.
I remember the Mike Shannon
Absolutely.
days.
Those were fun
Those
times.
were
We were in
fun
our
days.
early 20s, and it was quite the crew down there. We had
That's where
fun.
you
Met my
met
wife.
your wife.
Met my wife.
Yeah,
You're right.
That's right. Tricia Marino.
Yep.
Yep. Her brother Tony ran the restaurant, was
Yes,
the
he did.
GM, and we had a lot of fun down there, boy. We saw a lot of celebrities, a lot of pro.
Absolutely.
I mean, Hall of Fame guys. Willie Mays. Name some of the guys you met or
Oh my
waited
gosh.
on down there.
You know what? I could go on and on. You know what? You know what? Now I'm going to draw a blank. But I mean, Johnny Bench, Bob Gibson, Jack Buck.
Who's the one from The Who?
Oh, Pete Townsend from The Who.
Yeah, oh, really?
Yeah.
Some rock and roll flavor.
I
in there.
actually stuck around. I was cut early. It was a winter night, or maybe it wasn't a winter night, but we were slow. And I was cut and being sent home, and I thought, I'm leaving. And Pete Townsend's walking in. As I'm walking out, I'm like, I'm not leaving now. I put my tie back on, put my jacket back on. I waited till he was finished. And earlier that day, I read the newspaper, and they had a big article about The Who playing at the Busch Stadium the next night. So I went and bought a second paper, and I got a Sharpie from the restaurant. I waited outside till he was leaving. I was like, Mr. Townsend, I'm a big fan. I'm going to the show tomorrow night. Can I have your autograph? And he said, He can't. And then he saw the picture and he just scribbled on it. So I still have his autograph, which is pretty cool.
A lot of those rock and rollers are probably deaf.
You know what? Pete Rose,
Among other
another
things.
one.
Pete Rose. I remember a story about Pete Rose. He was in there. Dad and I were down. It was like 2:00 in the afternoon, and he was sitting there having lunch by himself, a late lunch. He was manager of the Reds at the time, and some gentleman came up to him and asked him for his autograph, and he chewed this guy's butt out like you can't believe. I mean, it was. Dad and I wanted to crawl under the table. It was
Right.
that bad. We felt so bad for this guy, and he just let him have it. You know, because you probably know this from working down there.
We were
You
never
ne-
supposed to approach. We could never. That was
Especially when
taboo.
they're-
You don't ask for autographs.
especially when they're eating.
Right.
It's a no-no.
I did it once. Pete Townsend was out on the sidewalk. I didn't do it in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And the only autograph I ever asked for there was his, and that was outside
Right.
the restaurant.
But I remember guys like Willie McCovey, Willie Mays. I think Maris and Mantle had been in there a couple
talk
times.
about athletes getting upset with customers asking for an autograph. It was a big. All those nights were pretty big down there on the weekends, and they had the celebrities, and they're doing that radio show in the back.
Right,
And
right.
Joe McGrain, I'm waiting on Joe McGrain. I believe he's with his agent, and I was standing at the table like about to take the order, and this little kid came up with a ball, and he had a bunch of autographs on it, and he asked for his autograph, and McGrain turned him away.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what a, this woman at the table next to him heard it. She stood up and got in his face. Who do you think you are? Da, da, da. Oh, it was like, I was like, right on. Yeah, there you go.
She let him have it.
She let him have it.
Now,
Like-
was he back behind where the show was?
No.
'Cause they
He
had
was,
those
he was
barriers.
actually on the other side of the bar and everything. He
Yeah,
was kind of in a secluded corner, to be honest with you. But
yeah. They found him.
yeah.
Yeah, that was such a special time. I mean, that back where the mural was,
Yeah.
with Joe Arndt with the donuts, Jack Buck's good friend. He'd bring Lake Forest donuts all the time. They sort of depicted that into the booth mural and everything. But
How long did Shannon's in the original spot, and then how long? I mean, they had a good run downtown.
yeah, we were there. We were when Dad owned it. It was, I don't know, good
He
10.
opened in 85.
Yeah, 10.
And I worked there for about 8 years, 7 or 8
10,
years.
15 years before we sold it to Mike, I think. Yeah, so,
Yeah, that was a good run.
Good run. It was great. A lot of fun, a lot of great memories. But
Good food. We ate there the night of my bachelor party. My brother,
Yeah.
my dad, and I. Do you remember that?
Was it your bachelor party or was it the night before your wedding?
Bachelor party.
Okay.
we did aged steaks there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of a new
That was a
thing
first
back
class
then.
place.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on, you guys get this restaurant, under your belt, different experiences, what you're doing. You're working with David Slay, and then 1995, you guys decide to open up your own place. Talk about that a little bit. Was there, you were still relatively young. It was a big step.
It was. We actually thought we had a spot locked down, which is now like Louis and what's the wine bar on Demond?
Louis on
Sasha's.
Demond. Oh, Sasha's.
Is it Sasha's on Demond?
Right next door to Louis on Demond.
So that space was owned by a gentleman, and we thought we were going in that space. Ralph Wiley was his name. He owned a grocery store there, and we were going to open Marcella's on Demond.
Really?
This was a full year before we got to where we ended up. We didn't have a signed lease, but Clayton let us proceed as if we did because the gentleman had a stroke. He was in the hospital. We had our liquor license approved. We had engineering plans. We had all this stuff we had invested in. We're ready to do it, but we didn't have a signed lease, and someone got in there and got the space from out from under us.
Was that Jimmy's on the Park?
It was. Yeah.
Jimmy Christo,
Yeah.
who now works with Tyler Layton.
It's
One of your
small community.
One of your alumni that works they both work together at Twisted Tree.
Right.
So there's a little restaurant history for you. But yeah, I did not know that. You
Yeah.
guys had already had an original location. So then,
We had thought about 1,000 places before that.
Really?
We knew for years that we wanted to open up a place.
right.
But, probably together working 2 or 3 years. And I think the location on Watson came about. Jamie had told me, the old Ron and Shirley's
Sure.
is available. And he was kind of
Right.
joking. And I said, really? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's open up.
Yeah.
And funny, nobody really thought too much of the location. His friend said, "You're open over there. What are you going to sell? Bush beer and Zima?"
Zima. Wow.
And
that's dating ourselves.
Sign of the Times.
Wine coolers.
But I think that it was kind of people came in, unexpected corner, didn't have great expectations, and we were able to meet those expectations with good, good service, good food, and
You did.
wine list that was,
It was a small
fairly
place.
stable, small
The
place.
It was like 40 seats, wasn't
60.
it, maybe?
60.
60 counting the bar.
Everything, yeah.
And just that one little section where the arch is was the wall.
Yep.
And that was it. You didn't have the back.
How about
you didn't
the
have
smoking section? That was the smoking
That
section.
was it.
Remember smoking sections?
Yeah, right.
We had
How do do
5
that?
tables in the smoking section.
Wow. Yeah. So then, you guys get it going. You're handling the wine. What got you into being
You know what? My
the
first
wine thing?
really start me in wine was down at Mike
At
Shannon's.
Shannon's, yeah.
That really exposed me to some fine wines. And oh heck, Bill. I can't
Channels.
remember. No, well, that was after that. But another guy named Bill worked at Mike Shannon's with us. He was a manager. I can't remember his last name at the moment. Bill Masdra. And I got my first subscription to Wine Spectator in like 1988, and through him, because he showed me the magazine. I'm like, oh wow, this is cool. And so I subscribed to the Wine Spectator magazine in 1988 and just started studying from then on. And fortunate enough to meet some friends later on and started tasting regularly at Star's Wine Shop on Big Ben with a bunch of people that really had deep wine cellars and knew a
Right.
lot more than I did. I was younger, but I was thrilled to be there. And
Sure. But you learned.
absolutely.
Are you a sommelier?
I did take an entry sommelier exam at Greystone in Napa Valley some years back. I never pursued it any further because I had started having children, and I
Right.
knew that it was never going to change my life. I'm never going to give up the restaurant and go work for a wine distributor or a
Right,
winery.
right.
I got this restaurant going. It's going great. I'm not leaving that. So it kind of fell to the wayside. I still am very enthusiastic about wine. I still read about wine. I collect wine. I taste wine every week, probably every day. Well, almost every day.
And then fast forward, you've gotten awards from Wine Spectator.
We
How
have.
about that?
We have.
Yep. So Stevie, you trained in Las Vegas. You had name some of the chefs that you
what really
trained,
the
that
greatest
you worked with in
the
Vegas.
greatest experience goes back to David Slay and Lisa Slay.
Right.
Because I was able to come in as a green cook not really knowing anything, and just be taken full force into learning everything.
Right.
And so I worked with David on Hampton. I moved with him down to Union Station. Left him at Union Station and went out to Las Vegas and worked under some French chefs out there. 2 restaurants. They were famous at the time, Pamplemousse and Savoy, but this was the beginning of Las Vegas. So the Mirage had just opened. So mostly if you wanted a unique culinary experience, you'd go off the Strip, other than a steak and lobster dinner.
Right.
That was kind of the end, but got great experience there. Left and went with David when he opened in Beverly Hills, and by that time, that was my experience. On the way back moving back from California, Jamie met me in Las Vegas, pretty much where the plan was hatched to look for a location and partner up, and so I guess we opened in 95. That was probably 91 or 92, 91. And on the way back, we'd come up with this plan that we were going to partner up and open a restaurant. It took us 3 years to find the location. And
Save some money.
Yeah.
Save it up. So you also trained in Yesi, Italy.
Italy, yeah.
Right. Talk about that.
So,
Kind of an Italian culinary school there?
Yeah, so it is a program that was started by the Ministry of Culture of the Italian government. And in my group, they had 5 Japanese, 4 Americans, and 1 Canadian. I was one of the Americans. But we traveled to each individual region of Italy and studied the historic dishes, wines, the salumi, the cheeses, the historic dishes, and understand how dishes evolved. Whether it was
the history.
Northern Italian dishes being influenced from Austria, the Southern Italian, Sicily being influenced from North Africa or Spain or Greece. So it gave a big idea of, they called it a Masters of Italian Food. It was like 101 because it was the basics. We were going back to the very beginning and understanding. And coming from St. Louis, we had already opened the restaurant.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was very eye-opening.
How long were you there for this?
So I was there for 4 months. The program was 3 months.
Wow.
And we had just started. We already had success, and at the restaurant, and we had just started expansion on the back of the building, which pretty much doubled the size. Big addition.
You'd already gone to the south and doubled it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you went back.
Then we went back.
Right.
And I think as soon as they put a shovel in the ground, I took off for Italy, and Jamie handled all the construction. Although it was his idea for me to go on this program.
What a guy. Yeah.
He's still waiting for his turn.
I'm waiting for my 4 months in Italy, Joe.
Right.
A wine tour. So let me ask you a question.
Joe, kind of interesting. When I was over there was 2 occasions. You'll like these stories. We're in Parma, and we're eating at this restaurant in Sulu Maria, and they're known for the culatello, the king of prosciutto.
Right.
Prosciutti. And it's an afternoon lunch. We already toured the. They manufactured, made all the cured prosciutto, the culatello, in an ancient castle.
Sure.
So it had no windows. It was all open air, but it was the perfect climate. So we go up into this fancy dining room, and there's this couple guys that are eating lunch, and they're going back English, Italian, English, Italian, English, Italian. One of the American guys says to our head sommelier, Alessio, what are those guys talking about? Well, that guy there is an American. He's from New York, and he's buying prosciutto ham for his shop up in New York. Mm-hmm. The other guy is the #1 prosciutto producer in Parma. So afterwards, we jump up, and Alessio introduces us to us, and he asked all the Americans, "Where are you guys from?" Not the American, the Italian guy. And he asked us in broken Italian and English. And I said, Stati Uniti, St. Louis.
Right.
He said, St. Louis, maybe you know some friends of mine. And I said, well, who's that? And he said, Armando and Lorenzo Passetti.
Oh, wow.
I said, you got to be kidding me.
Volpe.
Yeah.
We grew up 3 doors down the street.
I grew up 3 doors down the street.
Really?
From him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was in Taormina, Sicily, and I went in a little bitty, you get these little bitty grocery stores, whatever, and I saw Volpe salami in Italy,
Did
in
you really?
Sicily.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard other stories too, like up in Italy, you see it in grocery stores in Italy. I mean,
So
it's
I told him,
unbelievable.
and the guy talked forever.
Yeah.
Well, all the other chefs that are with me are thinking, I'm King Kong.
Yeah.
So then fast forward about 3 or 4 weeks, and we get invited to the Baliani family's country estate. Now, they're a blue blood, Italian blue blood. They have saints in their lineage, popes in their lineage. Very, very well off.
Sangreal.
Very, very well
Royal
off
blood.
family.
Yeah.
And we get invited to their country estate for dinner. And the uncle says to me, where are you from? I said, Stati Uniti. And all these Americans are around me,
Yeah.
right? Stati Uniti, St. Louis.
Yeah.
I kissed the ground under the arch when I go to St. Louis, the uncle says.
Okay.
Well, one of the silly Americans says, no, you mean New Orleans, Louisiana. No, St. Louis, home of the blues. Not hockey, music, right?
Music, yeah.
We know that. That's our
Yeah,
history.
Yeah.
He says, maybe you know a couple friends of ours. I said, who's that? He says, Sam and Chris Cavato.
Oh my
I said,
gosh.
you're kidding me.
Clothing.
Yeah.
Italian clothing.
The nephew worked for Ferragamo.
Ferragamo. My
and
favorite.
so now
Ferragamo right here.
everybody that's with us thinks, this guy's like a big shot. they think I am
They
somebody.
think you're royal blood too.
Exactly. So it was a fun trip. It was very, very, very educating, very much an educational trip, and as my wife said, a once in a lifetime chance.
I want to ask you, is it hold true that if you were to start up northern Italy, up even further north in Milan, is it heavier up there? And as you come down south, does the food get lighter and lighter?
Well, you think about the seasons. So the further north you are, the cooler seasons you have, and the northerns are known for their creams.
Right.
You got a lot of cold mountains, Alps, in the wintertime.
Yeah.
The further south you get, the warmer it is, the more fresh
Lighter.
produce and
Yeah. Fish.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep. It is true. I mean, I've traveled all, and I've it is true. People had told me that, and you do see that,
What's also interesting is, we think about regional or local here in the United States, and that peaked a little bit a few years ago, I think, but as far as an importance. But when we were over there, we were in Jesi, which is a town in Marche. We're about 20 kilometers from the Adriatic Sea. One of the most vast seas of different fish, small fish, anywhere in the world. And one of the guys asked the chef, he said, Chef, I'm surprised being in Marche and being in Jesi, so close to the Adriatic, that you don't cook more fish. And he says, no, that's their terra.
Yeah.
Our terra, from the stream, from the trees, the squirrels and the rabbits, that small of a difference is local.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just like,
not 20 miles down the road.
yeah, it's that.
It's right here.
Centralized.
Exactly.
Just because Europe's so small.
Yeah.
The countries are small. It's not like here.
And they're
right?
villages, they're towns.
Yeah.
You
they're
know, and
towns.
so it stays there. Historical dishes stay in those villages.
Stay in those villages. You're right.
Yeah.
No doubt about
So
it.
it was really exciting. Was welcomed greatly by the Italian people. Another funny thing is my Italian translator in the program and Italian tutor in the program. She says, Steve, I have to tell you. She said, I grew up in Granite City. I said, you're kidding me. Yeah, isn't that
I don't
small
even
world?
remember that.
Yeah, it is a small world. Like my dad running into Dan Deerdorf in Rome one time, just walking down the street. So, you never know who you're going to meet or run into
Right.
in this world. This is a small world, but you're
Joe,
right.
we talk about knowing each other for years.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Long
don't know that
time.
everybody really understands from young children.
Yeah.
We
go
I
way
was
back.
I was hanging out with Paul in that, ice rink.
Yeah.
5, 6 years old, 4 years old.
Yeah.
You know what,
You know
Joe?
what, you guys were playing
I
hockey
was saying, I
together.
was just going to say, coming on here, it made me start thinking about, well, when did I'm thinking we go back to like
Yeah.
Steinberg. Were you
Steinberg ice rink, and then
early
Emmer
70s?
Frost.
And then Emmer Frost.
We
definitely
were
played on the
6,
same team in Emmer
We were
Frost.
6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
You know, and Mike Cacciatore. Good friend of ours. And yeah, so you're right. You're right. He owes you get a hall pass to go back over to Italy yourself and do a little wine tour, right?
16 weeks.
For about 3. Yeah.
No, 4 months, he said.
Knock yourself out. Yeah. And you hold the store for a while.
Exactly.
Now, talk
Exactly.
about holding the store. Let's talk about your sister Christine, right?
Okay.
She's a big part of
She is
the deal
huge
too.
part of it. Huge
and
part.
just kind of fills in wherever it needs to be. She can
Yeah,
do everything.
She does do that, and she can do everything. You know what she really focuses on? She does book all of our private events. We do quite a lot of rehearsal dinners, a lot of business
Yeah.
functions. She books all that stuff. She does man the dining room a couple nights a week for us, and she'll cover for us for anything.
Yeah.
You know, if we need to take off for a reason, she'll do that. But she takes care of, you know, bills and.
Trattoria has become her baby. You know what?
Right.
She runs it. She runs the day-to-day
Which is
of
great
everything.
for you guys. It gives you a little bit of time off.
He
Plus
might
you've
do
got
some. He
another
might do
restaurant.
some legal work. He does a lot of the wine lists. You know, I help with the specials and the menu, and you know, together we jointly run the restaurant. Christine's really the glue, especially after we opened Mia Sorella.
Right.
Christine's really the glue that keeps the whole place together.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing, Joe. How about this? 30 years this past June, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're open 5 nights a week. No Sundays, no Mondays, no
Right.
lunches. We were ready to open lunches. We had a customer come up to the front door, and I said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Farrar, we're not open for lunch yet. We're going to open next week or the week after." Don't do that.
I don't remember.
John
that.
John
Ferrara.
Ferrara, my dad's partner. Yeah.
He said, "Don't do that." He says, "Because you're going to get me for lunch, you're going to lose me for dinner." And
Right.
we never opened for lunch.
Yeah.
5 nights.
That was a blessing.
Yeah,
Got to have some time. I mean,
right.
the restaurant business is crazy enough. Hold that thought. We're going to be right back on the Supper Club with the Komorek boys of Trattoria Marcella fame. This show is brought to you by Kuna Food Service. Kuna Food Service, providing quality food to people across the Midwest, is part of our rich history at Kuna because food brings people together. We specialize in having a large variety of food products and food supplies, catering to an array of businesses that turn to us. Kuna Food Service, a family-owned tradition since 1918. Oliva on the Hill. It's Italy in the city. With exquisite old-world charm, this ideal setting is perfect for your next special event, wedding, just having lunch, or enjoying Wine Down Wednesday and the Antique Market. Check it out, olivaonthehill.com. Lordo's Diamonds, your family's jeweler for life. Family owned and operated for over 70 years, specializing in engagement rings, fashion jewelry, gemstones, and in-house jewelry repair. Relaxed, friendly atmosphere, competitive pricing, and a selection second to none. Conveniently located just west of the Galleria on Clayton Road. Lordo's Diamonds, your family's jeweler for life. LordosDiamonds.com. Go Fresta for Fresta Limoncello. My handcrafted small batch citrus liqueur is perfect for sipping or pouring in a cocktail. All natural, gluten-free, Fresta Limoncello is sold at Schnucks, Dierberg's, Straub's, Total Wine, and local restaurants. Fresta Limoncello. Keep sipping, my friends. Welcome back to the Supper Club. I'm Joe Fresta, brought to you by Kuna Food Service. We're right back in the action here with the Komorek boys, Jamie and Stevie Komorek, and we'll just dive right back in. It's 1995. You're opening the place up, the old Ron and Shirley's location. Talk a little bit about your wait staff. You got people there that have been there since day one.
Yeah, it's
Nate, rattle off some of the people you've got, which is really rare in the restaurant business.
Joey Campisi has been there since day one. Vince been there
Not too far.
over 20 years, closer to 30 probably.
He worked with you at Shannon's.
I met him at Mike Shannon's in 1985.
Yep.
He came from Carver's. What was it called? Carver's in the Marriott.
Oh wow.
JW Carver's? I don't remember,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah, we knew each other
Yeah.
from the business, and he came and worked with us when when we needed someone back then. You know what? Sarah's been with us for a long time.
Yeah.
Clay.
Clay, our bartender's been there for probably close to 20 years, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got the handlebar mustache.
I can't remember
You know
anymore.
what?
I can't
Chef
remember.
Nate's been there for almost 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christine's been there close to 30. Our sister.
The new people have been there 3 years.
Right.
You know, we've been very fortunate with a group of team members that become like family with us, with each other. They enjoy what they do.
Yeah.
They found a good spot where they feel at home, and fortunately, we love having them the same way.
Well, and everybody knows their role. It's just like a well-oiled machine, which is, it's so rare in the restaurant business today that you have that. I mean, it's such a blessing for you guys.
Not only have we had the team members there for 30 years, we've had customers for 30 years.
Yeah, right.
We have the same customers over the last...
Name some of your longtime customers, like people that have come in.
You know what? Everybody...
You got a ton of them.
There's all different kind of... you don't want to... I'll tell you what.
Too big of a list. You don't want to leave anybody out.
You don't want to leave anybody out. But the very first night we opened, we did over 100 people.
Yeah.
And I said, thank God for friends and family. And fourth most, it's friends and family. We see people come through there that, you know, we've known all of our lives.
Yeah.
They go back to the neighborhood and they come and visit us. But, you know, whether it's, you know, it's just everybody. You can't name people, but it's customers for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
You know what? Your mom and dad have been coming for the last 30 years.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
You know?
Yep.
John Farrar was there for from the time we opened till his passing. And, you know, it's just, we've been very fortunate that St. Louis has taken to us, and we've taken to them too.
Yeah, we talked a little bit off camera about American Italian food, but you call your food Italian soul food.
Somebody else called our...
You know what? That's from, you know, I know where it came from. The New York Times did a review for us. It was in '97 because it was like I was getting ready to go on my honeymoon when that thing came out.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
I thought that was a quote from you.
No, a woman from the New York Times did a review on us, and the part of the article talks about her eating her leftover lobster risotto at the Adams Mark Hotel with a piece of bread as a spoon, and it was an unbelievable
That's how she
article.
finished the article.
Really?
Yeah.
And it was an article on St. Louis, but she talked about eating at Trattoria. She said, I'm looking out my hotel room window on a gloomy day or rainy day, eating my leftover lobster risotto with the ciabatta bread as a spoon, and I'm perfectly content. And she had mentioned that it was the soul food of Italy.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think that's an accurate depiction?
I think that we've evolved through the years. We've always been very simple. We've never been very foo-foo, not a whole lot of, you know, you don't see the foams and these kind of things, that waves.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, it's rustic. It's, you know, food of the farm, of the poor.
Rustic is a good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
You know
not
what,
very fancy.
Trattoria-
And that's the food of that's the food of Italy.
Trattoria
Italy's
isn't-
not fancy.
No, it's not.
Trattoria is an apt description too. I mean, it's not a restaurant. It's a
And it's not.
trattoria.
And it's not swimming in sauce either.
Right.
Like, you
Yeah.
know. But
You know, one other thing I'll tell you, when we were talking about my beginning, so when I left L.A., working for David Slay, he had called Vince Bomarito and got me a job at Tony's.
Oh,
downtown.
really? You worked at Tony's too?
I worked at Tony's downtown, and played a big influence in me. I don't usually give him a whole lot of credit, but I was there for a little bit over a year. I worked every station up and down the line. It was truly the most efficient, cleanest, most well-run kitchen I've ever worked in.
Yeah.
And I worked in a lot of kitchens in Las Vegas and with David Slay and so forth and so on. It was great. Vince Bomarito and his family built an incredible restaurant there. Played a great, I had great admiration for what they did. And first time people say, you know, where'd you make risotto? And a lot of people think I put risotto on the map in St. Louis. I learned to make risotto at Tony's.
Did you really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That
that's
was the
why
beginning.
that's why they were a 5-star restaurant for many, many, many
Yeah.
years. I mean, you could go in that kitchen, you could eat off the ground. You know what I mean? It was spotless. It was unbelievable.
Incredible.
But those are the things you need to do, and to get earn a 5-star. I don't even think they do it anymore.
You know what?
but-
They were 5-star,
Mobile?
five diamond, and the only
Diamond.
Italian 5-diamond, 5-star restaurant in the country.
Right.
Pretty top shelf.
It's pretty
and I worked
amazing.
there.
Yeah, and a lot of people some other Supper Club alumni give him a lot of praise. Dominic Galati, Tony Piatoso, they all mention Vince as someone that really kind of taught them the ropes and how to
100%.
really.
And I'll give you one other tidbit. It's interesting. I saw Vince Sr., Vince Bommarito Sr., and Jamie and I are both friends with Vince Jr.
Oh, the best.
Great guy.
Love him.
Very, very talented. Did
Friends.
my daughter's wedding during COVID. Just blew me out of the water with
Yeah.
his food. Just very talented, wonderful gentleman.
Yeah.
But,
You lost your train of thought?
how'd that happen?
Alzheimer's. Vince Jr.
Yeah.
Old
Old-timers.
He now lives in Clifton Park, where I grew up, right next
He's
door
been there
to
for
where
a while.
I grew up. Yeah,
Joe,
long
you
time.
know what else I thought? I was telling you about how I thought about how we met. I remember playing hockey.
A lot of pond hockey.
I remember playing pond hockey over at your house.
We're getting off subject
Yeah,
here,
sorry,
but that's how we
sorry.
met. I mean,
Little kids playing pond hockey at Clifton
Paul,
Park.
my younger brother, and you, and Mike Cacciatore, even Jimmy Cacciatore played
Yep.
with us for a
Yes,
little
he did.
while.
Yes, he did.
Tony DiMartino.
Yep.
Hoppy Randazzo, another great customer of
Kenny
of
Butler.
yours. Kenny Butler.
I can get back
Yeah.
on track here.
Okay.
Okay. I knew that would jog your memory.
Yeah. So back to Vince Bommarito, and it jogged my memory a little bit different. After I worked at Tony's, I did catering for myself for a while, and Mark Cusimano had offered me a position at Kemo's new
Lou
restaurant.
Piccolo's, right?
Piccolo's.
Piccolo's.
And Greg Perez was the opening chef, and shortly after, Mark offered me the position of being chef at Piccolo's. So I worked at Kemo's for 3 years. I met my wife there.
Yeah.
And best thing that ever happened to me, 3 beautiful children, 3 beautiful grandchildren, 31 years of marriage this month, last September.
Congratulations.
And I ran into Vince Sr. at Restaurant Depot on a Saturday one day. And he used to come into the restaurant quite often at Trattoria, not often, 3 times a year. And he told me, he says, Steve, he says, not many people know this, but I learned more about the restaurant business and about cooking from Dora Kemel, Mrs. Kemel, than I've learned from anybody in my lifetime.
This is Vince Bommarito.
Vince Bommarito
saying this?
Sr.
Mrs.
And
Kemel.
Mrs. Kemel. And you think back,
Wow.
a lot of people don't, these generations are losing touch with it. I keep pestering Mark to get his sister Ellen and his family to do a book on Kemel's, because they really started this culinary revolution, Mrs. Kemel did.
Right.
Where they do these gourmet nights in the 60s and 70s and bring recipes back from Europe. Nobody was doing that. And Mrs. Kemel was like Julia Child back in the day. She was at the forefront, and she ran that business on her own. I never had the chance to meet with her, but they built a great operation. So I just want to mention kind of funny that Vince had said that,
Yeah.
in his retirement
You know what?
age.
And like the Slay family, they go way back, man.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
1927.
early 1900s.
1927.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's amazing how the restaurant families are so intertwined, and a lot of these stores you don't even know about till
Right.
I have people on the show and they talk, and you learn a lot just by having them on the show, and they tell different stories you had no idea about. It's just really fascinating, really is. So you guys are going. It's 95, and you're rolling, and in 2002, you're named Best Italian Restaurant in St. Louis with the Riverfront Times, and then you guys are off and running.
We've been blessed since the day we opened, Joe.
Yeah.
And we've had so much good press over the years. It's hard to even really.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that. I mean, I believe you on the 02 year, but we've been blessed with a lot of good press.
Well, it wasn't too long after you guys opened, really. Maybe 7 years. It's pretty. You probably had something before that too, but there's so many. You guys should be so proud of yourself, and Christine too.
Here's a funny story. We first opened, and it's going to be our first review. And we know
brother.
that the Riverfront Times has been through to do a review of us.
Oh, really?
They called us to come take pictures.
And then they came to sell us advertising. Well, we had no money.
Right.
We weren't buying
If I remember
advertising.
correctly, Joe, the woman was trying to get us to sign like a $20,000 advertising deal with the Riverfront Times. We're like, $20,000? Are you what?
Crazy.
Yeah.
We
I
just
don't know.
opened-
I don't know that that was that number.
She was talking to me. And then,
Was that a full-page ad?
no, like,
For 10 years?
2 years worth of whatever. Whatever it was. It was a huge number to us back then. And we're like, well, what if it's a bad review? Then
What if the headline is "Oh brother," referring to the two of us? Ended up
Yeah.
being a great review, but I don't think Ray Hartman was too happy. She brought him in to try to seal the deal, and
he left.
Yeah, oh, really?
What if I don't publish it? What if I don't publish the review? That's what he said. Then he left.
And you would have said, fine.
Yeah.
we still never paid for advertising.
Yeah.
No,
well,
we
you know what?
advertise on the back of church bulletins.
I won't even, I know there's a couple of, one magazine just folded up. I
Yeah.
believe it was
Kind of
Sauce.
sad.
Right? Sad. I said, I was thinking, the Missouri Restaurant Association should run those magazines. So they're a little bit less biased. It's not about who advertises in the magazine that wins all the awards. 'Cause
Right.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And, that's what should happen. It should be an unbiased level association or organization to sort of publish and run those magazines, because then it's everything's on merit.
Yeah, there's so much social media out there.
Yeah.
That I just don't know how much.
Print is kind of done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, there's Yelp and Google and all these review
how many
places.
reviewers are out there?
Everybody's a
it's
reviewer
crazy.
nowadays.
And I started Facebook Food Critic.
I was trying to think of Facebook Food Critic.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what got me started with it got me a radio show, and then eventually got me this. It's just amazing how things parlay themselves into one thing and after another. But I would just go in a restaurant, whether I was traveling or around town or wherever, and just post really good photos of food and say where I was. I never was never negative about anybody or anything like that. I was always positive. And if I didn't like you, I just didn't put you on the page.
Right.
It's like my mother taught me. She said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
Boy, where did
And
that
I've always
go?
remembered
I
that.
still live by that, Joe. And
Yeah, my
people
mother
today,
taught me.
not so much. Not so
How many
much.
times you hear it growing up?
Yeah.
My whole life.
Your whole life.
I'm sure our mother sat up
100%.
in the stands at some ice rink and talked about that. They probably,
They probably told
compared
one of the
notes a
mothers
little
next
bit
to
on.
him, Exactly.
That's my boy.
Yeah, then you had to go back to guys like Joe Pollock. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
He was
Yeah.
incredible. He was great.
Yeah.
And a good reviewer.
Yeah. But he was
He knew what he was talking about. He knew the food. He knew
Yeah.
the wine.
right.
And I don't think he really fully blasted anybody.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we were possibly, maybe one of his last reviews for sure, but we might have been his last review.
I'm
Maybe.
not sure about
Really.
Yeah.
I don't know how he could even taste the food. The guy was a chain smoker. But,
Really? I don't know that I know that
Oh
about
yeah.
him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was. Yeah. But
He was
anyway.
well respected by the chefs, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah. When he was like the only guy in town, the Globe was gone. You had Jerry Berger and you had him. That was it. So
John Garganigo.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's still around.
He's still around. Yeah.
Comes into the restaurant.
Wow. So you guys you're plodding along. Trot's doing well, and then in 2012 you decide to open up another restaurant,
Correct.
Mia Sorella.
So over the years, we looked at 100 spots, and we always got to a point where we said, that's it. No, we're not interested. We always found
You
something
guys were
wrong.
looking for a long. You guys were always
I'm
looking.
telling you, we looked at 100 spots, Joe, and we've passed on several of these. Said, we should have did that one. We should have did that
And
one.
you had a lot of guys, bending your ear too about, hey, why don't
all
you?
the time.
Yeah.
This came along. There was just dirt. It was just real estate. There was no building or anything. But Bob Brinkman came to us and said he's doing this thing and wants us to come look at it. And we just kept going through the process, and we're kind of like, all of a sudden, it's like, well, I guess we're going to sign a lease because we couldn't find anything to stop us from doing it. It was
Right.
just,
Everything was in place.
yeah.
It just rolled along.
And we've been very fortunate there too. We're very
Oh,
happy
yeah.
to be in West County. it's
I don't know if it was because we were a few years older than the first time, but boy, it's hard to open a restaurant. It takes a lot out of you. True?
Yeah, look at you.
Right or wrong?
He gave you a torn rotator cuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's just so you've got how are the restaurants different, and then how are they similar?
So Mia
talk about
Sorella is a little bit more casual, a little bit more family. Although Trattoria's evolved too. I think the market of restaurants has evolved. You know, back in the days of 1995, 2000, things were it was very high posh and, you know, being the best culinary. And then at some point, people just started relaxing and kind of understanding, really, we're making food. It's not like we're doing rocket science here, creating Van Goghs. It's about the comfort. Mm-hmm. It's about the service. It's about having good quality food. That's what we're here for.
Right.
So Mia Sorella is just a little bit more family oriented. The menu's a little bit broader, more sandwiches, hand spun pizzas, St. Louis style pizza, a place that you can go out twice in a week.
Right.
Trattoria.
Different price point?
Trattoria is a little bit higher price point,
Not
but not
much.
No,
Not
you know
much.
we still have great fish dishes out west, that fresh seafood, and we have that down at Trattoria. But we also have 6 or 7 sandwiches on the menu.
Right.
You know, so
Right.
the wife can come out and get a nice piece of Chilean sea bass, and the husband can get a tenderloin sandwich or a grilled chicken sandwich or spaghetti and meatballs.
Just a slightly more casual items like sandwiches.
Trattoria has a smaller bar. Mia has
A bigger
big bar. Yeah, we have 10, 20, 30, probably 45 seats in the bar out west.
It's pretty big.
It's a great bar.
And then Jamie, do the wine lists differ?
You know what's? Yes, they do.
Trattoria's wine is deeper.
Trattoria's wine list has been building for 30 years. Mia Sorella's is it's a little simpler for sure. We try to hit all the important regions of Italy, and of course, you know, everybody loves their California Cabernets and Chardonnays, but Pinot Grigio and Chiantis are very popular. What I was going to say about the difference between the restaurants, I feel like Mia Sorella is more of a local restaurant. It's like your neighborhood restaurant.
Right.
Trattoria Marcella, our customers come from Illinois all the way down Highway 40 to Chesterfield and further.
I was going
St.
to ask
Charles.
you, when you guys opened Mia, were you a little concerned that it might cannibalize a little bit?
That's why they're different
Or
restaurants, Joe.
Marcella?
Yeah, because of a lot of
the menus are not extremely different, but we don't have lobster risotto at Mia
I was gonna
Sorella.
say,
We don't
now-
have Frito Misto, the calamari and spinach at Mia Sorella. We've kept them different
Two
on
different
purpose.
members. But did you have, like, when you first opened, the people come in wanting lobster risotto?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or, you know, chicken soda or
absolutely.
straw and hay.
You know what's
I mean,
interesting though, Joe?
but that kind of went away after a while.
Yeah, but at both places, we'll have regular customers from Mia Sorella and come to Trattoria.
We like the
We
other
like
one
Mia
better.
Sorella better. And then they'll come to Mia and they're like, you know, we liked Mia, but Trattoria is our spot.
Yeah.
So it's good that we
It
have that
is
little
good.
variation. We're not opening a dozen restaurants. I keep trying to talk Jamie into doing one more simple thing in our lifetime. I
Why
don't
don't
know
you
what
open
it'll
one
be.
up on the hill?
Joe, we were talking on the way down
I would
here. You
love
saw
for
us
you
that
guys
day.
to open one on
You
the hill.
saw us that day. We were looking at the where the
Yeah.
La
I saw
Gloria,
ya.
La Gloria
Yeah, Pizza de Gloria.
Pizza de Gloria. You saw us
I
that day.
busted you
Stevie
guys.
said on the way down here, "Why didn't we buy that place?" I'm like,
no
I don't
kidding.
know. You know, there's one we
That
should have
was,
bought.
you know what? That was probably one of the last deals on the hill.
Yeah,
Buying that building.
yeah. Well, John Tony's is for sale,
Yeah.
you know. So
That would be
I think
hard to replace there.
I think that deal's about done, though. I think it's about wrapped up.
Really?
Well, that
Good
would
for
be
him.
hard. That would be hard to replace. Tony Catronicki has done a great
Well,
job there for a lot of
yeah,
years.
Oh yeah.
And he's a great Hill personality on top of it. Not only his food and his
Yeah.
restaurant, but he's been on the Hill, you know.
Long
long as I
time.
can remember.
Started at Giovanni's.
Right.
He's the chef there. Yeah. Talk about lineage and how they all intertwine and everything. It's just crazy when you go back through the years. Talk a little bit about
the restaurant scene in general in St. Louis. I mean, we are really, truly blessed. For the size of who we are, we're kind of a big, small town, but we really pack a punch when it comes to a culinary scene, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Well, I think our early roots, dating back to the days of Kemel's or early Tony's, going Port St. Louis or wherever, Al's, we had an early scene here, and I think we've just continued to build on it through the years, whether it was David Slay or just so many chefs through the years. Bill Cardwell, wow,
right,
yeah. And then you have somebody like Gerard Kraft come in, and just it's been building throughout the years, and we're fortunate that we've been able to continue to build on that, and very diverse.
You know what? I remember one time one of the newspapers locally published like the restaurant tree, like a family tree. It's like Tony's begot these restaurants, and then those restaurants begot these restaurants. You think about it. I had his name, Frank Pappas. Was he? I think he was from Dominic's.
Yeah. Well, he worked for my father at one time too. I don't think he owns the restaurant anymore.
He didn't. He sold it, I believe.
He sold it. Yeah.
But how many people worked at Tony's to start at their own restaurants? How many people worked at Giovanni's, started at their own restaurants, and then those people,
I know.
You know what? And with immigration, you look at the ethnic restaurants that have continued to grow here.
That was my next question.
And that's probably the biggest change in our scene, because we've done pretty well with that too. I mean, we've had that American, California, Italian style here for a long time.
American.
But then you've seen the Vietnamese and the Chinese food evolve here.
Sushi.
And we've done great.
Yep.
Japanese.
Yeah.
A lot of different fusions now.
Yeah.
It's really remarkable. And
we're blessed from that regard.
Oh, no doubt. But you guys obviously, you're Lebanese.
True.
Right? Your
True.
mother's
I'm
side?
married to a full-blooded Sicilian,
you are.
Joe.
But why Italian and not Lebanese food?
I'll go. So when we were going on Demont, I told you that earlier about where we had a spot on Demont. We were going to call Marcella's on Demont. It was going to be more Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
Mediterranean, Middle Eastern.
Right.
And we looked at a spot on the hill. What was it called? Wasn't very.
Le Barber's.
It was Le Barber's. There you go. It was a bar.
Wow.
It was a bar. But we looked
really?
at that place as a possible for a restaurant.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, if we're going to be on the hill, we have to do Italian. That's what put Italian in our head, because we thought we were going to be on the hill. Well, we looked at that place and it wasn't.
We were red check tablecloths, the Chianti bottle with the candle. We were going to go complete old school back at Le Barber's across from Vitale's Bakery.
Yeah.
You don't see joints like that anymore.
No.
So once we put Italian in our head, it kind of stuck. And then I seriously was driving to my father's house and saw a for rent sign on the old Ron and Shirley's, which at the time was actually called Watson Chinese, because for 18 months I think it was Watson Chinese.
Yeah.
And on my way to my dad's house, I get there and I call my brother. I said, "What do you think about the old Ron and Shirley's spot?" He says, "Available?" I said, "It's got a for rent sign on it."
Yeah.
And just so happened that somebody with familiar family relation, I mean, we're not related, but we've known the Abusi family our whole lives, knew my parents and such, and Alex Abusi owned that building, and it was fortunate that we got in there and he gave us the option to buy the building after a couple years, and we've been there ever since.
When I was at grade school at Epiphany, not too far from here in South St. Louis, I was in class with Tom Slay.
Okay.
And man, our class ate really well, because it was either my mom would bring in pasta house stuff, right? Or Tom would bring in Lebanese food, man. And I'm telling you, it was fabulous.
It was a treat to get Lebanese food back then.
Yeah. The kibbe and the grape
leaves, cabbage
and
rolls, everything.
Oh my gosh, it was great. I mean, we ate really well between the two of us being in that class. It was unbelievable.
Did you graduate in that class?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. Epiphany. Yeah.
Well, I know Paul and I ended up at St. Ambrose.
Yeah. Paul got kicked out of Epiphany.
I got kicked out of St. Ray's.
Yeah, well, you guys had a lot of parallels.
Trouble? It was the older brothers that,
Did you go to CBC too? Yeah.
Yeah, we both went
You guys
to CBC.
probably lead the league in detentions over there.
You know what? I got one detention my whole time there, and it was my senior year.
Really?
Yeah.
I never got one. Not one.
I will tell you this. Talk about our friends and family and the support we received through the last 30 years in the business. And it's strong. It's real. The support we received from CBC in our CBC community.
Oh, yeah.
Has been tremendous. That alumni, when our alumni brothers learn that we're CBC, they come.
And there's a lot of guys from CBC in the restaurant business.
Right.
At Del Pietro's, my dad, you
Vince
guys.
Marito.
Pat Hannon.
Really? I didn't know that
Giovanni's.
about Hannon.
Giovanni, right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of restaurant people graduated from CBC High School.
You know, one
How many
day,
doctors?
Doctors?
that's not important.
Oh.
Doctors, a lot of car dealers.
Food
I
is
know that.
medicine. We get these large groups coming into Mia Sorella for lunch,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
class of 65, class of 67. And one day I was actually having lunch with Mike Cacciatore, another CBC guy.
Yeah.
And so we got, 20 guys from the class of 65 through 67. We got myself and Mike Cacciatore. Craig Suntrup's eating lunch at the bar. Another guy, who was it? Oh, Mike Bond, who was in my class at CBC, he came in and got a to-go order. I'm like, thank God for these CBC guys.
It's
I mean,
true.
in one day, I'm just sitting there counting my blessings that just all these people that I've known, they support us.
You could have gotten a team photo that day. You gotta, all right, everybody just go outside in the patio. We'll take a big
Vic Filoni,
photo.
Vic Filoni.
Vic Filoni.
Their family's been in the
Filoni's
restaurant business for over 100 years.
Over 100 years.
Right.
You're right. There's another one.
That's a
There's
great
probably
place.
more. We just can't think
Right.
just off the top of our heads. But then you guys started to get into the happy hour business.
It was
Talk
Jamie's idea. I'll give him credit on that one. I
that-
thought he was crazy.
And it's as small as the bar is at Trattoria Marcella, it's a big deal.
People are happy.
They're
They
wait-
love it.
aren't they waiting at the
5
door?
o'clock, they're waiting at the door. And we do it only in the bar, and we only do it on the patio. So if you don't get there early, you might not going to get a seat. It's been a surprise to us how well it's been taken. But you know what? We put it at Trattoria because it was so successful out west. And we thought, well, we should try it down there. And both places are well known for that happy hour at both
Right.
spots. And their menus for happy hour are fairly similar.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a great deal.
I'll tell you another thing with the success with the happy hour, and we struggled with this for a long time. Happy hour generally 3 to 6. Mia Sorella 3 to 6. Trattoria Marcella 5 to 7.
Because
Yeah,
we don't
so-
open
We open
at
at
5
5.
o'clock.
Because you open at 5.
So in that neighborhood where a lot of people are at work, they get off at 5:30. They can come there and still enjoy
It's still
happy
7
hour.
o'clock, even on Fridays.
Why not open earlier?
Well, we were
In the
talking
city.
about that. That's funny you say
Yeah.
that.
Because I'm telling you, everybody's going to these 3 o'clock happy hours. And while we're on
Nobody
the
works
subject-
anymore.
No, you're right. You're right. To say
All
it.
online.
We're down to a 3-day work week. Not you guys, you're in the restaurant business, but people, they don't work on Monday. Hey, don't kid yourself. Nobody works on Monday anymore, and nobody works on Friday. Everybody, they're done.
Try get.
Okay?
Yeah, I know. Try to get a hold of anybody.
And a lot of people work out of their homes. So, to the happy hour thing, do you? And I ask my restaurant guys this all the time. Do you think St. Louis has become a happy hour town?
You know what, Joe? I don't know how other towns I don't know how
Because
it
I
is in other
remember,
towns.
I remember years ago when you guys back in the '90s, I would get a reservation at your place at 8:30 at night. Now 8:30 at night, restaurants they're done.
There's something to that,
closing.
Joe. Everywhere I go and people I talk to in the business. I mean, we used to seat. We don't say we close. We seat
Till
until
11.
We used to seat until 10 or 11 before
Right.
COVID. During COVID, it got down to 8:30 and 9:30, and that's where we stuck because there really isn't the call for it. If I had people wanting 8:30 reservations, I'd stay open, or 9 o'clock reservations, whatever. I would keep open and do the business, but there's just no business to be had. And I see it when I go out. He sees it when he goes out. We talk to other people in the business. They say, other people in business say, you're not missing anything. We close early too. I have a little story about that is Danny Meyer. I read that he wrote an op-ed in the New York Times that 6 o'clock is the new 8 o'clock, and he's talking about in New York.
Real,
He
even
said,
in New York City.
yes.
Wow.
He said before COVID, people would go home, get ready to go out, and then go out at 8.
No.
He says now they go from work,
That's right.
they go straight out.
That's right.
So they can get home and watch their shows. How about that?
Right.
You know what? I didn't know what Netflix was until COVID. And now it's like, honey, what are we going to watch next? What's our next show? You got a
Right.
show? Anybody? I'm asking friends for recommendations. What's a good show? What's a good show? I didn't even know what Netflix was until COVID
It's so
came.
true. Friends, significant others are going straight from work and meeting at a restaurant and hitting happy hour at 5 o'clock, and they're going home. Now, I'm going to take it a step further. I don't think it was COVID. I think it goes back a little bit further than that, at DWIs. When they started doing sobriety checkpoints, people started thinking, you know what? From now on, if we want to go out to dinner and have a couple cocktails and go, we're going to start going out to dinner earlier in the evening and get home. And I think that was the
definitely
start.
plays a part in it. And that's a good thing.
There's 8:30 was the pick, used to be the pick 25 years ago.
It's a great thing. Young people don't.
8:30 was the pick time to have a dinner reservation.
You know what? The awareness on drinking and driving is really, with Uber and young people just don't drink like we did growing up. My children are 22, 23 years old, and
they're smoking pot.
eating edibles. I don't know if my kids are not, but I don't think so anyway. It's available. Yeah.
No, they say that alcohol consumption among young people is way down.
Right.
So it's just an interesting thing with St. Louis. Like, try to go out to dinner after a hockey game. You can't. Or a baseball game.
You know what? We used to get after the, not the opera,
Is the club open after the hockey games?
I don't know, because I don't go anymore.
But you remember when we were kids, we didn't have season tickets, but I'm sure your parents did.
But I'm telling you.
All the Trattorias, everybody was down in the arena club after the games.
In the arena club,
closing it down.
When I became of age, I'd go down in the arena club. We could have a few cocktails, let the traffic run out,
right,
and still go out to dinner somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
And this was 9:30, 10 o'clock at night by the time we leave the arena club, and the places would be open and they'd be jumping.
Yep.
Whether you went to 64 West, which was a club, but you could still eat there. Rupert's it became later on, or wherever you wanted to go.
Right.
Places were, Jimmy's on the Park.
The Hill always did a good hockey business. Gito's and John Pepe's and
Jimmy, let me ask you
John
this.
Tony's too.
I'm thinking about, so Trattoria Marcella has been open 30 years, and I don't think it's only inflation, but we're busier than we've ever been. Our numbers are really good, and we're very blessed for that. Thank the Lord.
Yes. Even with reduced hours, we're doing more covers, not just dollars, but more covers.
So, you know what, Joe? I will tell you this, and it's still 8:30 on a Wednesday night. We're done. 9 o'clock, 8:30, we're done. Maybe we're busier Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, in that few hours.
I'll agree with
you. And this first time I kind of thought about that, because we've always been busy on Friday and Saturday from 5 o'clock when we open. And in those early years, we were always busy from 5 o'clock when we first opened, till whatever. But it seems like maybe that's where the business has increased, is because there's nights at Trattoria during the week. We're doing over several hundred people. And I don't know if I ever really fully remember. People are coming out. They are coming out, but they're eating earlier.
Early. And now look at these places starting happy hour at 3. That's what we do at Pasta House Company. We're starting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon as happy hour now.
Right.
Used to be 6 o'clock back in the old days.
Right.
Long time ago. Because people would go home.
How often do you eat a stuffed artichoke?
Oh boy, I love them, but not.
We have them on our menu.
I love them.
I copied them a little bit up. You guys.
Yours is different, though, but it's
your
fabulous.
Stuffed artichoke is just so good. I love them. Still love them. That's a perfect meal with pasta house salad and a stuffed artichoke.
Oh boy, tremendous! It doesn't get any better. You're right, but so it's. But we talked about it a little bit, but the lobster risotto has just become. That's your standard, almost like brand of Trattoria Marcella.
And it's not on the menu.
No, it's a special every night.
Right.
Joe, we did that New Year's Eve, our first year in business, and it's been on the menu. It's been
ever since.
The very next night that we were open, people are calling and say, "Oh, my family told me about the lobster risotto. Are you going to run that again?" And we just always have it.
And it's fabulous.
Yeah,
fabulous. It's funny is I don't eat it all that much, but every time I do, I think, "Damn, this is so good." That's why we're so busy.
You know what? One other thing came up recently. About Mia Sorella, and when we first opened, our burger out there had Lambrusco red onion jam on it, Fontina cheese, and pancetta, freshly ground 8-ounce patty, semolina bun, and recently George Mahey called me up and said, I want to refresh about that Mia Sorella burger. I made that my A-list burger. It was so good. I said, George, I have to tell you, it's not on the menu anymore. He said, really? Why not? And I said, well, we thought we'd try something different and, this, that, and other. We were trying to make room. I said, but we always have it available because people still want it. So people will come in and order the Mia Sorella burger without it being on the menu.
You got to ask for it.
It's there.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of the secret menu item out
Joe?
there.
Yeah.
Before we opened Mia Sorella, he asked me, can we put a burger on the menu out there? And I said, no, we're opening an Italian restaurant. What do we need a burger for? We'll have a meatball sandwich. So he put the burger on there anyway.
Yeah.
And then it's like St. Louis Magazine A-list, cover of St. Louis Magazine, our burger. I'm like, well, I guess that shows what I know.
Good thing.
Yeah.
So talk about what are some of the other more popular dishes on the menu at either place? What's
You know what?
you mentioned lobster toasted ravioli. I'm going to tell you right now, folks, they've got the best toasted ravioli in town. I don't care what anybody says. It's the best in town. Talk about the toasted ravioli.
So we make, it's funny, originally when we first opened, I didn't want to put toasted ravioli on the menu. I didn't want to be the same old St. Louis
Right.
style Italian. I wanted to make a mark a little bit different. Well, people would come in, and in particular, people from out of town. I heard about toasted ravioli. They said, you have to come to Trattoria Marcella for Italian food. How come you don't have toasted ravioli? Mm-hmm. So I started making them.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I would make them and I'd sample them out, John and Jim Oates in particular, and they'd call them their meat pillows of love.
Two CBC guys.
Two
Yep.
CBC guys.
No,
No,
John,
one DeSmet guy,
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
CBC guy. That's right.
And,
John went to DeSmet.
So we just started having them around in case people wanted them, and finally we got them onto the menu. But we take a whole pork butt, we took a whole chuck roast of beef, we braise it with carrots, onions, celery,
Yeah.
spinach. We grind that down, cheese. We make the dough fresh. We do our own special breading. But those are made fresh every single day. One person makes homemade ravioli every day, and that's all they do. And they make them for both restaurants. But it's something that when I came back from Italy is when I put them on the menu. Mm-hmm. Jamie kept asking me, why don't you have them on the menu? I said, I don't know. It's a St. Louis thing. I'm not so into it. But the whole slow food thing and the Italy thing was
The local.
local.
That's really what
Really?
did it. When he came back from Italy, he was talking about how everything's so
Localized.
local.
He talked about it earlier in the show.
Yeah.
I mean,
and how
towns.
local is toasted ravioli. I mean, that's
And do
it.
the best version of your local you can. And I said, well,
Yeah,
there
you
we
can't-
go.
Can't contradict yourself.
And you know what, Joe? For how many years did restaurants poo-poo ravioli because they didn't want to put the same box on there as everybody else?
Right.
But they could have made them. Now there's quite a few places that do make them, and quite a few places that have been making them even before me.
Right.
There's a lot of good ones. I have to say that Jim Gaffigan probably had it right. Trattoria Marcella has the best toast ravioli. If you've never seen his YouTube,
Oh,
he does a
really?
little video
Yeah.
on St. Louis toast ravioli, and I held with bated breath until the very end, and he said ours were the best.
Well, I got to tell you, I agree
Yeah, thank
with
you.
Jim Gaffigan.
Thank you.
So whatever that's worth,
Yeah,
because they are good and they're big and they're full of meat and they're fabulous.
thank you.
Yep. And they're always the same every time you get. No less, no more. Just perfect.
They're made
Meat-
physically by hand.
In the
meat
kitchen?
pillows
Yeah.
of love.
Yeah, you roll out the dough, right?
Exactly.
Then you spatula the meat over the top.
No, we actually do individual.
Oh, really?
Yeah, individual pieces of, and then we fold the dough over and form it with our fingers.
Each
there's
one?
No, each one.
Wow.
Each one. Yeah.
That's pretty labor intensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
You
is.
got, what do you got? Just one person back there?
That's their job.
One person
Is
full
the
time. When we get
ravioli
heavy,
department?
when we get heavy with some heavy duty orders or the Christmas season, two people will fall in line. and
Right.
Keep
right.
up.
Yeah.
So it's a full time job. It's great. The other thing we've been blessed with, Joe, you talk about the lobster risotto, you talk about the toasted ravioli. You know what? How many restaurants have this many signature dishes? Lobster risotto, toasted ravioli, Frito misto, mushroom appetizer, the lasagna. You know, our lasagna was significantly different than a lot of people's lasagna for many years. Homemade pasta, free-form kind of. We just been, that polenta mushroom appetizer has been on the menu since day one, and
There's quite a few things we can't take off the
The
menu
chicken
because
spadini.
people
We'll go crazy if you do.
raise a fit over it.
It's a good problem to have, though.
yeah,
Yeah. Talk about
it helps you get consistent when you make it over and over.
You guys have been in all the foodie magazines in town a million times, but then you also had some major national accolades. You've had Wine Spectator, a couple other publications ranked you like among one of the top 25 Italian restaurants in the country.
In the country.
In
And
the
if you looked at
country.
that list, the restaurant, I was really, really flattered because I'm looking at the restaurants, I'm like, wow, they got us with the cream of the crop. Joe, those lists are all lists. And if you continue, you know what?
What'd you learn at Tony's? You're only as good as your last meal.
Yeah. You know what? So I think that those lists are great. I don't know how much faith I always put them. I'm happy when I make the list. There's a lot of great restaurants in St. Louis. There's a lot of great restaurants
Yeah.
throughout the country.
Yeah.
We've been really fortunate and really blessed.
Yeah.
The community has accepted us. I think a lot of people walk through the door and feel at home,
Yeah.
and we feel like we're welcoming them home.
Yeah.
You know, it's just been a lot of fun. The people that we met, the friendships that we've made through the years, has been incredible. Probably the best part of the restaurant business is the connections and friends that we've made.
Yeah.
You know, endless customers that you become like family with.
Even
throughout the
restaurant
years.
peers of yours that come
100%.
in, right? Which is a big,
100%.
that's a great, nice feather in your cap.
Right.
But Jamie, I'm going to ask you, when you get a rare night off and you and the lovely Tricia want to go out to dinner, where in St. Louis do you go out to dinner?
You know, Joe, people ask me this question all the time, and I really don't. I try to go to new places because I want to keep up with what's going on.
Right.
I like to go to places that I know the owners. I know plenty of people in the business. I like to share the wealth, like they come to my place, I want to go to their place. I will say this, the restaurant I most frequent on an annual basis has to be Michael's in Manchester and McCausland. And every time I say that,
You're
people
not
go,
alone.
"Oh my gosh, that's a great restaurant." They do have, and it is. It's just it's good comfort food. You get the Greek food. You get whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
a steak sandwich, a burger, chicken wings, a Greek salad, a
Gyro.
Michael salad, gyros, the avocado lemon soup.
Yeah.
I just frequent that restaurant a lot. Do I eat there all the time? No, but I get it to go a lot as well.
Yeah, Katina does a great job there.
You know, we've gone to Chris's through the years, Saraceno's restaurants.
Yeah.
You know, I'm good friends with Mike Del Pietro, so
Yeah.
Sugo's and his restaurants throughout the years. It was just you try to frequent your friends'
You
places.
try.
You want to see them. You want to try new places. You know, I had mentioned Tony Capernicchio earlier. I think he's a great guy. I think he has a great restaurant there.
Yeah.
So
It's hard, but again, it speaks to the tremendous culinary scene we do have here
You know
in
what else
St.
I
Louis. It's
contend this, Joe,
unbelievable.
about the restaurant business? I think people have 5 or 6 restaurants in their circle
Yeah.
that they go to, and they generally get the same thing at that
They
restaurant.
do, and I'll tell
every
you what,
time they go.
When I had my radio show, and it was strictly restaurateurs I'd have on, and that was a lot of why I did it, because everybody has a circuit. They have their circuit of their 4 or 5 restaurants they go to, and on specific nights too, right?
Right.
And they get and not only that, they get the same thing on the menu. So the show would give people an opportunity to listen to somebody talk and give them an opportunity to maybe break out of their circuit and go try something else.
Right.
There's so many other
There
great
is.
restaurants and different culinary nationalities and all that kind of thing around here in different parts of town. It really is remarkable, really is. Now, another question. What's your favorite restaurant when you travel? Like anywhere in the United States?
Man. You know what?
Give me 2 or 3 of them.
You know what? My mind is blanking. Not blanking. I'm trying to think of a specific restaurant. Danny Meyer Restaurant, New York. Tavern.
Tavern, yeah.
No, what's it called?
I don't know.
You know what?
Da Silvano? You ever
No.
been there?
You know what?
Da Silvano.
No, I went to.
Fabulous. It's authentic Sicilian.
Okay, no, I don't know that
It's in
one.
Greenwich.
What is the place I'm trying to think of?
It's
about
like
the Reef
it's like
Grill?
It's old age.
it's like I like to go to Chicago. There's so many great restaurants in Chicago, right? Same thing. We'll
Why
go to
can't I think
you
of the
think
name of the
about it.
place?
I don't know.
Stevie,
60 years
you
old.
guys get a rare night out in St. Louis. And you can give me a couple of them too.
You know what, Joe? We go out every Sunday
Yeah.
after church, and usually we'll end up picking up food for the evening. But Lisa and I, we like Manos, we like Bartolino's. I had my 30th wedding anniversary party. My wife surprised us at Bartolino's South. Saraceno family's great
Right.
people.
Yeah, it's a great restaurant out there.
It is. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, we do hit the same places. I like Chris's. I like Citizen Kane's in Kirkwood
Yeah.
has a fantastic steak. I let out a secret there was, I don't know that it's a secret, but my daughter's basketball coach, Duke, had told me, oh, you're going to Citizen Kane's. Get the strip steak with the garlic on top.
Okay.
And I said, huh? And so I asked the server, and he said, well, you must be friends with the Wyckoffs. I said, yeah, Duke. So they take their strip steak, they broil it or whatever, and they put a little fresh garlic, and then they toast it underneath it. Oh, my God. We had some red wine. I was sharing that steak with him. It was pretty darn tasty.
Yeah.
It's 60 years old. We got the grandchildren. I don't get out as often as I used to.
Yeah.
We eat a lot of Chinese food, whether it's off
I
of
love
Olive.
Chinese. Yeah.
And then usually when I'm visiting my son in LA, he'll pick the restaurants. So, I still enjoy kind of adventuring out in different food. But
Okay.
at this point, I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah.
I might go to
We
pasta
all
houses.
are.
I might go to pasta
an
house
artichoke.
as often as any.
What about out of St. Louis? Anywhere in the country?
You know what? One
I can't
restaurant.
remember the name of this place in New York. It's driving me crazy. It's a Danny Meyer restaurant, been around forever. They have the formal room, and then they have the bar room, and their service is impeccable. Their food is fantastic.
Yeah.
61 years old, my memory's
All
shot.
right, Stevie.
You know what? There's a lot of places that I've been to, but the one place that I haven't eaten there many times, maybe 3 or 4 times with a group of friends of ours. One restaurant that really you wouldn't believe it, but I really suggest people go there because it's a great feel. Is 1000 North in Jupiter, Florida.
Oh, okay.
Michael Jordan's restaurant.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty swanky place.
good,
It's a
huh?
steakhouse mostly, but boy, the atmosphere.
The atmosphere,
it's something.
the food, the
Steakhouse.
service.
I'm a big Mastro's guy out in Arizona.
Yeah.
They're all over the country now, but Mastro's.
I just recently ate it one a couple years ago.
Which was a brainchild of Jimmy Volley.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
Was
know
it
that
really?
or not. Yes, it was. Who owned Marco Polo out there.
I remember Marco
And,
Polo. We ate at one in the Woodlands in Texas, Mastro's.
Mastro's, yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
And pretty incredible.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, really just a neat vibe in there, They've done a good job.
Right.
But, and of course, Jimmy passed away, never did get to see the success of that. But, yeah, that was his.
Boy, he had a creative Marco Polo,
Yeah.
that idea that many people probably don't remember here in St. Louis,
Yeah.
but that was in the 70s, I guess.
Right.
The combination.
Yep. His brother Mike worked for my father at Rich and Charlie's Trattoria on Oakland Avenue. He was
Wow.
the chef back there. So, yeah, again, a lot of St. Louis restaurant lineage for sure.
Sure.
But, yeah, I think that about wraps it up,
Well, have us back one day.
Yeah, I will. Your kid's going to get in the business?
That's yet to be seen, but it doesn't appear that way.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't appear that way. He's got an
Do you ever
attorney,
encourage him or
a
discourage
teacher.
him?
You know what? I would never. My son is working in the business. I'm never going to say you got to do it. If he wants to do it, I'd
He'll
be
wanna
happy
do
to
it.
do it. Help him. He'd be fantastic at it.
Yeah.
But
Daughter's a nurse.
my daughter lives in New York and she's a nurse.
I have one that's kind of a somewhat stay-at-home mother.
Yeah,
3 children.
yeah.
Son that's an attorney out in Los Angeles, and then daughter who's a sophomore at Indiana studying to be a doctor. Hopefully,
Yeah.
she makes that path.
Yeah.
We have,
Smart
you know,
kids.
we have several team members with us that are younger that have a passion. As years progress, that
Yeah.
will help Trattoria and Mia carry on, and
Yeah.
I think we're on pretty stable footing. But you're going to see me around for a while anyway.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? I'd like
Exactly.
to see you around the hill. I want you guys to open up a place on the
Find
hill.
me a spot.
Okay, I'll be your broker. I'll
There you
find
go.
you a spot.
There you
yeah.
go.
Okay.
Well, Joe, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being on
Pleasure,
the
Joe.
Supper
Great
Club,
to see
boys.
you, always.
Yep. You guys
Thank
are the
you, man.
best.
I'm the lefty.
Yeah, we go back a long time. So,
Yes, we do.
yeah, thanks for being on.
Well, thanks for having us.
The Supper Club brought to you by Kuna Food Service, a family-owned tradition since 1918. The Pasta House Company Restaurants. Lordo's Diamonds, your family jeweler for life.
Oliva on the Hill.
Barquette Realty, nationwide real estate investor.
And Fresta Limoncello. Keep sipping, my friends.